Hey folks, it's me, a Better Me P90X, and this video is a follow-on to the video I posted last night about an alternative to recovery drinks as opposed to the P90X formula. Um, this response is actually based off of some comments that I got from Johnny Salami 2 and Brown Buna. So, um, guys, this is for you. I was challenged by one or both of them to dispel the myth about the need for carbs in recovery drinks, etc. So, um, one of the comments that I had made in my video was that the Isopure that I used had zero carbs. And the context of that was because it had zero carbs, it's a little bit better or it's easier to take that if you're going to go to bed after you work out. So if you work out late at night and you have your recovery drink and it's the Isopure, you're not going to go to bed with a lot of carbs in your stomach. So that's the context of my statement. But there was a good point made, which was that people could interpret that to say that you should go for no carbs in your recovery drink because carbs are necessarily bad for you, and they're not. That's not the case. So let me tell you what I've discovered from my research, and I'll talk to you about pre-workout protein and carb consumption and post-workout protein and carb consumption. And these are recommendations that I've found through surfing off the internet, etc., and finding out a little bit more about carbs as it relates to recovery. So, pre-workout, pre being an hour to 90 minutes before your workout, you're going to try to consume 0.25 grams of protein per pound of your body weight pre-workout, and you're also going to try to consume 0.5 grams per pound of your body weight again 60 to 90 minutes before your workout. So as an example, if I'm a 100-pound person, then I'm trying to consume 25 grams of protein before I work out, and I'm trying to consume 50 grams of carbs before I work out. It's basically 0.25 and 0.5. You can basically just cut your weight into a quarter or cut your weight in half to determine your protein to carb ratio pre-workout, 60 to 90 minutes before your workout. So the reason why you want to have a little bit more carb than protein is because you're going to be burning those carbs obviously during your workout, and it helps to have those carbs for energy. Now let's get to the debated part. And what this comes down to is after you work out, it's going to be the same ratio of protein, so that's still 0.25 grams per pound of your body weight of protein that you should try to target ingesting as soon as possible after you work out. And for carbs, it's actually the same now. So it's also 0.25 grams of carbs per pound of your total body weight post-workout. Now, using that example again, if I'm a 100-pound person, then I would want to try to consume after I've worked out immediately, if possible. After I've worked out, I'm trying to take in 25 grams of protein and 25 grams of carbs. So what does that mean? 25 grams of carbs, there are 14 grams of carbs in a piece of toast, white toast. To give you some sort of a balance, there is in a single scoop of Gatorade, this particular one is Gatorade Frost, there are 13 grams of carbs. So when you're making a Gatorade drink, you can put 2 scoops of these into 16 ounces of water, and you can incorporate that into your recovery drink. It'll make it a lot sweeter, but you will get somewhere around, if you're a 100-pound person, you would get your 25 grams. In fact, you get 26 grams of carbs. But that's not always practical, is I guess the other side of it. So here's how I'm viewing the whole thing with the carbs post-workout. You don't necessarily have to get those carbs post-workout from your recovery drink. If you're exercising just before dinner, you can get those carbs from whatever you're consuming for your dinner. So I still stick by my recommendation in terms of using Isopure because it gives me a little bit more versatility. I can drink it at night before I go to bed in that time frame, or I can drink it in the morning. Either way, the only thing I have to keep in mind is that there is no carbs, and so if I'm going to try and use it to boost my energy during my workout or before my workout, I'm probably going to need to augment it with some type of carb. And on the other side of that, if you're not a person who works out late at night or does their workouts after dinner or something like that, then you're fine then as well. You're going to be able to get your carbs from some other source. I tend to work out sometimes late at night, sometimes in the afternoon. Is kind of inconsistent for me. So having something with zero carbs and using some other alternative to consume the carbs is what works for me. Now, the disclaimer: by no means am I a nutritionalist, and the stuff that I've given you today is just a baseline that you can work off of. Again, I'm no nutritionalist, I'm an engineer, and I'm a fat guy. That's really the bottom line. So take from that what you will. Carbs are not bad. You actually need them to help with your recovery, but you do not need to get those carbs necessarily from a recovery drink. If you want to get some of those carbs ingested from a recovery drink, then you can mix in. I think someone was using Powerade. In my case, it's Gatorade, but any other form of carb will probably be okay as well, I suppose, assuming that's not something too heavy that's going to just sit in your gut. There were some comments on GNC, etc. Hey, I have no problem with the GNC that I go to. They may be not the best salespeople in the store, but that's okay. I went in with a particular item in mind. I knew what I wanted, and I got in and out without the sales pitch. So I don't care where you get it. I don't work for a GNC. The bottom line was GNC is a convenience store for me. It's within 3 miles of my house, and so it made it easy for me to get it there. If it had been some other store, I would probably use that as what I had used. But anything that I'm giving you here is not necessarily an endorsement of those products. It just happens to be what I use. I don't work for any nutrition store. I don't work for any manufacturer of healthcare products. Like I said, I'm an engineer and I'm a fat guy, and I'm doing my best to get in shape and provide everyone else as much information as I possibly can. Sometimes it's wrong, and that's the way life goes. So with that, keep pressing play. Oh, one quick follow-up. For those who don't know, I do have a blog running, and I have posted this information on that blog. You can find my blog at www.just90days.com. www.just90days.com. And you can just view today's post, which is specifically about this topic. And if you didn't have a pen handy and weren't able to do those calculations, they're right there for you. So you can grab that, as well as one of the other topics that I posted yesterday was about target heart rate calculation. It was kind of long and convoluted, so you can also go and check out that post as well on the blog. It's yesterday's post. So once again, keep pressing play.